Hey guys, and welcome back to Legomaster627's Creations. So today, it is Monday, October 21st, 2024. And as you can see, the Halloween 2024 event has officially gone live. And we'll be going from October 21st all the way to November 4th. So just like the previous year, it is a 2-week event. You know, that's probably what these should be from this point forward. No more of these month-long events. That was getting pretty crazy. Might still do the same for Christmas too, by the way. Before we officially jump into the tour, let's see which cat we get today. Cookie! Alright, I got her. And obviously I did that off camera because that would spoil the room that she is located in, because it of course is decorated. So, as you can see, the map is for this party as you would expect. And honestly, it looks so cool, I'm not gonna lie. This actually looks legitimately amazing. And we're about to explore all of this right now. Let's begin. Fun fact about these pumpkins right here, these were literally added right before I filmed the video. Not these ones right here. No, I'm referring to these ones, then these ones, and these ones right here. The rest, however, were added ages ago. With all that being said, though, the outside of the planet, you can see, is decorated for Halloween. The cobwebs cover the pillars holding up the treehouse, which is actually really cool, as I've never done that before. The water park entrance is updated. You may notice that there's actually a light flashing from under, which is actually really cool. It actually comes from right here. This particular light in particular, which shines out the room like that. Unfortunately, the water park itself is not updated, as I just forgot to do it. Dang it, we had almost the whole world! Anyway, in seriousness, let's get on to my treehouse, which as you can see, is decorated, which actually looks rather similar, at least the glass looks similar to 2019. The difference is that instead of black stained glass, it is actually tinted glass. So there's a minor difference here. As you can see, this is decorated for the party, with tons of pumpkins. Now, this chest and this crafting table were not here last year, so this is actually a bit different, as there used to be more pumpkins around here when these weren't around. As you can see though, we got a ton of pumpkins, and this is what it also looks like. We have a pumpkin right here in the form of glass, which actually looks really cool. This is also where we can find our first item, the Halloween 2024 hat. Let's put it on. This is how it looks, by the way. It actually looks really, really cool, and if we go into the lights, we can actually see it a whole lot better. So yeah. Anyway, with that item out of the way, by the way, we can get all items on day one. Now that that item's out of the way, let's continue. Of course, this is all decorated, and much like down there, the little pillar here holding up the treehouse is updated for this party, which is actually really cool. Now, we were in here about like 2 minutes ago to get the cat, but now, as we can see, it is decorated. The reason why the solar torch is here is because when I do this, it accidentally knocks out one of the cat things out of the dispenser. So I have to keep this as a soul torch to prevent that. And also because if I did that, I wouldn't have been able to press the button. In this case, stripes paper came out. But I don't need that considering we already have Cookie with us. Anyway, that can explain why that soul torch has to stay there. The rest, however, have been changed to redstone torches, with pumpkins and cobwebs all around the room. Not much else to say for that. Other than, let's continue. We got even more glass decorated for Halloween right here. And yeah, heading on into my room, we can see that it is fully decorated for Halloween, with a lot of redstone torches around the room. My bed's also been updated as well, reflecting both orange and cyan. Well, at least for the most part. Actually, that's actually a lot in this party. It's like a combination between orange, black, and cyan for some reason. Oh, and slightly green as well, too, because actually, fun fact, you're going to be seeing a lot of slime in this party. Let me just remind you of that, or just tell you that now, because that's actually serious. Not much else to say about my room, so let's move on. Next up, we're going to head over to the Planet World Pet Cemetery. But we do have some pumpkins out here as well, which are all very cool. Fun fact, that's actually where these lights are coming from. So, there are flickering lights all across the creation's world. And fun fact, this is actually where I got the inspiration to do that prior to Lego's Island. You're welcome! This is actually where I did it first. So, as you can see, it looks like this, where the room lights up like this. Heading in here, as we can see, it looks like this on the inside, with mainly just pumpkins, redstone torches, and cobwebs. Heading up here as well, we can see the fence has been updated to orange and green, but with even more cobwebs and redstone torches along the way. Heading over here, we have Whiskers and Stripe's room, but it's mainly more just cobwebs and redstone torches alongside some pumpkins near their beds. Heading over here, we have another 2 sets of pumpkins, more redstone torches and cobwebs, mainly just that. And this is actually where those are coming from, by the way. As you can see, we have them fully being controlled by calibrated sculk sensors, controlling the lights respectively. Outside of that, it's mainly just more redstone torches and cobwebs respectively. So let's move on. Next up is the pool, over here next to the Planet World Pet Cemetery. As you can see, it is decorated in orange and green, but you may notice the water has been replaced with slime, which is rather cool. Although I think that might be almost every year, actually, I think except for 2021. If I recall, of course. Although I think this might be the first time in maybe like 1 or 2 years. I'm getting off topic. In reality, we have more pumpkins over here, which is very, very cool. It's really nice. And this is also after it's been redesigned to its correct position back in the end of August. Over here, I don't even need to pause this since the cruise ship's literally right next to it. As you can see, however, we do have more flickering lights, which can explain why the room looks like this. The same can also be said for these rooms as well, which have the flickering lights. For some reason, though, it's not turning on. That's really weird. What about this room? Is it turning on here? Okay, yeah, it's turning on here, but why is it not turning on here? Okay, so here it turns on. Okay. I don't know why it's not doing it for this room. That's weird. In all seriousness, the flickering lights can turn on for these rooms, which is actually really cool. It goes on and off, making it look rather interesting, except for right here. Much better. Hey, we got that. Nice. Anyway, we have even more lights that turn on their own. And up here, we have another slime pool right here, with more pumpkins and redstone torches across the boat, which is actually really, really cool. Outside of that, there's really nothing else to say, so let's move on. Oh, come on, Cookie! Get up! Hey, you. You're coming with me. Next up is the Planet World Village. Normally we would save this for last, but let's just do something different. As you can see, we have, of course, the little ticket area, or at least that's what it used to be. Anyway, we have more lights that turn on their own in there, which is actually really, really cool. And the fences have also been redesigned to both orange and green. It's also been redesigned with slime as well. Remember how I said we would be seeing a lot of slime in this party? There are a ton of pumpkins over here, and I forgot to mention that this has been fully redesigned to a redstone torch bridge. However, we have seen this in past events, hence why I didn't go over it in a video. Or at least on this video, that's a better way to say. There's also a house right here that also has decorations on the inside, which as you can see, looks like this. But as you'll notice, the purple pillars have actually been replaced with slime, if I can get out of here real quick. There we go. The purple pillars have been replaced with slime, and you'll actually notice that across every single house here in this village. So, what do you guys think? It actually looks really cool, and honestly, I do think this actually looks really cool, as it actually does make some slight decoration. And by the way, I didn't have the mobs on earlier. I only just realized that when we got to the village, so I turned them on. So, yeah. At least I didn't realize that halfway through the video. That would have been really annoying. Now that I've shown you around that, the inside of here, and apparently Cookie's already here, the inside of here is already decorated with more cobwebs and redstone torches and pumpkins, with the bed being orange. Not much else to say. Next up is this house over here, which obviously is decorated. Now, back in August, it was redesigned. So this does look very different compared to last year's decorations, since this was fully redesigned back at the end of August when we had to correct certain decorations. But to be honest, there's not too much to say about this, so we can move on. Next up is the lighthouse, which, as you can see, is decorated and has redstone torches instead of the end rods. The stairs have also been redesigned to both orange and black. But what's the best part about this is that we have a light on top of here, replacing the glowstone. It's meant to be done by this, right here, which is actually really cool. As well, it at least gives something for this. There we go, that's a better way. We should have it facing in this direction for the entrance. In all seriousness, the light goes on and off, lighting up the balcony, or the beacon of this lighthouse, which is actually really cool. Outside of that, let's move on to the library. Get out of here, spider. Although they're meant to be here the whole time, so actually I just killed them on occasion. With all that being said, the library also looks like this, which is actually really cool. It's a combination between both the orange and green decorations and the orange and black decorations, which are actually really cool, as of course, obviously, we like to mix both at some point. Anyway, the library does have some cool decorations, but not too much from here. Next up is the blacksmith area. Now, of course, this did get redesigned, such as these steps, and of course, one wall missing here. So, this does look slightly different. On the inside of here, real quick. Oh yeah, there's a bat. Get out of here. I just realized, though, there's no pumpkins here. So, give me a second. There we go. That looks better. Get out of here, spider. Anyway, in all seriousness. Anyway, that's how it looks on the inside. Looks really, really cool. Not too much here, so I don't even need to pause this next one. We can just go right here to the work shed, which doesn't have much on the inside. And now we need to open that chest. As you can see, however, it does look like this on the inside. Now, this room did get redesigned earlier this year, so in here is slightly bigger. I could have changed that bed to orange, but do I really need to? No. But I'll do it anyway. Done. Not much else to say in this room outside of that. There's really not much to say. So, actually, we're done with the Planet World Village. And actually, the entirety of the Planet World itself, outside of these pumpkins right here. With all that said, we are now going to move on to the Action World series. So, yeah, let's head over there. Now we're here in the Action World, which this one should not take as long as the Planet World, mainly because there's not much here. But the farm is updated, which consists of both orange and black, but with the water being replaced with slime, much like the pool on both the Planet World Pet Cemetery and the cruise ship. As you can see though, a lot of this party actually is slime, which is interesting. Heading in here, we actually have some lights that actually light up the room, which is actually really cool. Now outside of that, we just have some pumpkins and some cobwebs. Although actually, I think these are actually here all year, actually. I bet the cobwebs are here all year, so that's nothing. And then over here, we have even more decoration with this lighting up the room as well, which is actually really cool. With all that being said, though, it's mainly just some more pumpkins in here, with this being redesigned to both orange and cyan. Not much else to say there other than the fact that it looks cool. Now, genuinely outside of that, the hotel is also updated for this party, mainly just consisting of more of these colors, specifically right here, which is actually really cool. The carpet has been fully redesigned to these colors, and it honestly looks really nice, honestly. Now, of course, we have up here as well. Don't forget about that. Let's head up here real quick. And we have more of this. And then if we go in here, we got even more decorations, such as more cobwebs and pumpkins. Over here, we got nothing. And then over here, we have this, which is basically just a redesigned version of this bed, in both orange and green, respectively, and a little cyan, too. On this side, however, we have this, which actually looks really, really cool. It's mainly just the same thing, just with pumpkins this time. Give me a second to add them in the other room, because I just realized there's none here. Done. Next up, we have the campfire over here. But you may notice there's actually something really cool. All these lights actually turn on by themselves, as you can see, including over here. I actually got this to surprisingly work. As you can see, this turns on its own, as you can see. It actually looks really cool. And now this over here actually has all the logs replaced with pumpkins, which is actually really cool and creative. And all the torches have slime under them, which is also really freaking creative. I'm not gonna lie, this actually looks amazing. And yeah, even over here has it lit up as well, as you can see. See, the creativity is insane. Before I head over to the Legos Island portion of the world, I needed to take a look at the Zola's Lab series, because yes, it's actually updated for once. I know, I'm actually gonna try and start doing this more, but as you can see, the UFO actually has an update for once. Give me a second to get up there. Alright, we are in the UFO, and it's mainly just covered in slime, at least where the water is. And it's mainly just more cobwebs and pumpkins. Nothing too major here. And I'm also surprised Cookie actually managed to follow me up here because of how high it is. But it's mainly just more pumpkins. By the way, these lights are just to make sure, you know, there's some slight light in here. To not make it too bright, but also just so it's not like completely dark in here. So that's another thing. They don't go on and off, they're just on. But they all look cool though. All these rooms do look really, really cool though. And I'm not gonna lie, it's really cool that I'm finally starting to decorate this part of the world again. Let's continue. Next up is the original Zola's Lab office, which as you can see is actually decorated. As you can see on the inside, all the white pillars are actually replaced with slime, as you could clearly see. And I'll showcase it on the outside too, but as you can see, it actually looks really, really cool. It's mainly just redstone torches and cobwebs, but on the outside, you can notice that it's also been redesigned with slime, with also the pink flowers being replaced with dead bushes. Obviously in a reference to Halloween. Get out of here, skeleton. There we go. Anyway, next up is the Medieval Lab office. So, heading on inside, it's pretty much the same as the first one, just with no slime. Like, at all. There's like no slime in this one. So, that's pretty crazy. And yeah, there's not much to say, actually. So yeah, we can just get out of here now. Next up is the Zola's Lab 2, original Zola's Lab 2 lab office. This one is actually interesting, as we can actually claim Rose Crystal's Ender Dragon costume, which is actually really cool. So, yeah. Anyway, and we can actually wear it as an outfit in this party. So yeah, how awesome is that? Yes, we can actually wear this. That's awesome. Anyway, now that that's done, we can, of course, go ahead and explore the remaining of this, which is actually pretty cool because it's been replaced from glowstone to tinted glass, which makes it really cool. You can actually see through all of this, which is actually really cool. You normally don't get to do that. But, yeah. There we go. I thought I wasn't able to kill that guy for a second. I don't know. I just feel like killing the mobs for some reason, even though they're meant to be here the whole time. Anyway, it's pretty cool. Anyway, with all that being said, let's move on to the next lab office. Next up is the Zola's Lab 3 lab office, which actually is a remake of the 2017 one, which I think we actually saw, back in the 2020 event, actually, if I recall. The only reason it's back now is because I couldn't think of a creative design for this one. Unlike the rest of them, where somehow I was. I don't know, just this one, I just wasn't able to think of anything creative. Plus also, I was putting slime on almost everything, and then I realized, wait a second, I could just remake the room with this because it was mainly just all slime anyway. With all that being said, though, this is how it looks. Not too much to say here, so let's move on. And see, I told you this was mainly made out of slime, because as you can see, this next one, the rebooted one, for Zolazap 2's lab office looks like this, which actually looks really freaking cool, I'm not gonna lie. I honestly don't know which one looks better. I don't know if the first one we saw looks better or this one. The one with the dragon costume. Which you may notice, this one doesn't even have a costume in it. I know, crazy. Get out of here. Anyway, in all seriousness, this room does look really cool though, I'm not gonna lie. And with all that said, let's move on. As you might notice, I'm not trying to spend too much time in each room because we have a lot of rooms to get through. So that's why I'm not spending as much time in each room. Just to make myself extremely clear. Get out of here, Spider. I need to showcase this. Get out of here. There we go. Anyway, this is what the Icy Zolazap 3 looks like. It looks very cool, similar to the Zolazap, original Zolazap 2 one. Just, of course, with the, slime everywhere. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how we were able to get this one to work. Anyway, with all that being said, there is not too much in here. Actually, this place is fully decorated, but not too much of a reason to still be in here. So, let's move on. The last room for the Zolazap series is the underground party room, which as you can see, is decorated for this party, which actually looks really, really cool. It mainly has a jack-o'-lantern as a dance floor, which is actually pretty freaking cool, I'm not gonna lie. So, as you can see, it's mainly just cobwebs with redstone torches and pumpkins, and then of course the pumpkin-themed dance floor. There's not too much else to say about this one, guys. Now that the Zolazap series is done, let's move on to the Legos Island series. This one's interesting, because every single room is updated. So, first things first, we will kick it off with the event room. The event room, as you can see, is updated with all the flickering lights, which actually make it look really cool as it goes in and out in between each room, which actually looks so freaking cool, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, as you can see, it goes in and out. It all looks great. There's not too much else to say about this one. Next up is the lodge, which as you can see, has even more flickering lights, which is actually really freaking cool. The ones that go on and off. This is completely different compared to the actual Legos Island Lodge. As you know, it's not like all corrupted and stuff. So, that's the difference. Plus, also, these lights are everywhere. It's pretty cool. It's really, really cool. All that being said, up here also, as you can see, has another light over here, which obviously goes on and off. It's really, really cool how I was able to get this to all work. Seriously. Next up is the Legos Island Clothes Shop. So, as you can see, it looks like this. Oh, guys, speaking of clothes shop, I just remembered that I decorated this. I know, it just came into my mind right as I said the Legos Island Clothes Shop. I was like, oh, frick, this whole slab one. Yeah, it's actually updated for once. So, sorry about that. I just remembered now. It looks like this. Okay, now we can get back to the Legos Island. I only just remembered this now. All right, we're back here. So, as you can see, it looks like this. It's actually really freaking cool. And yep, in here has nothing. And will always have nothing. Although there should be a redstone torch in there, I'm not gonna lie. No, not there. There. I'm referring to, of course, there. Yeah, why isn't there one there? Anyway. This is what the clothes shop looks like. Looks very, very, very nice. And yeah. Let's move on. Hey, what do you know? We got a creeper in here. That's fun. Hey, we got them all to turn on at once. Let's go! Thank you, creeper. Now, get out of here! But it is impressive that we were able to get all of them to turn on at once. That was pretty freaking cool for like 2 seconds. You know, hey, we almost got all of them again. In seriousness, though, we can see that, of course, this is decorated once again for another Halloween party, which is actually really, really cool. The other house also has decorations here, too, which is actually really cool. So, yeah. Anyway, Not too much to say here, because it's mainly just these lights, honestly, and just these cobwebs and pumpkins. And, of course, don't forget about the bed. Next up is the library, which, as you can see, has obviously even more lights. And, hey, we got them all on at once. And off again. Yep, they all just come on and off at random times. Trust me, it's going to be like this the whole party. In fact, that's kind of the point of them. Just to go on and off as a nice little scare to make it all spooky and stuff. It's really cool how I'm getting this to work. I'm surprised I was able to pull this off in the first place. With all that being said, though, the library does look cool, though. Next up is the coffee shop, which you might actually hear this dispenser because it's actually being activated by this very light right here. So, yeah, that's why that's going off. But yeah, as you can see, we got decorations all over the place, which is actually really cool. It's mainly orange and black decorations, if it isn't already obvious, because literally, like, this entire place has only, like, orange and black decorations with some minor slime. So, with all that being said, there's not much else to say about the coffee shop. It looks amazing, though. Next up is the Lego's Island Pet Cemetery. I almost said Planet World one again. But, as you can see, looks like this. Looks amazing. And all the lights are turning on by themselves, by the way, just to clarify. Although that's probably because of all the mobs walking around. It's pretty cool, though, regardless. And yes, that even includes up here, too. It's all on its own here, which is actually awesome. Seriously, I'm still very glad I was able to get this light thing to work. Took some time, but yep, I got them to all move on their own. It was incredible. And yeah, with all that being said, not too much else to say here. Next up is the blacksmith shop, which is where we can actually get our next free item, the Halloween 2024 shirt. Let's put that on. This is mark here is what it actually looks like, as you can see on the inventory. Looks amazing. And of course, that is just 2 of many free items we have collected so far. There's plenty more that we're about to get to very soon, actually. However, we're almost done with the Lego's Island part. As you can see in here, there are no cobwebs because I just never decided to do that for some reason. Feels weird now, actually, but that's fine. But there are some pumpkins here, though, and the lava's been replaced with slime, by the way, if you were wondering. In all seriousness, though, the last place is the resort, which, as you can see, the water has been replaced with slime, which is actually really, really cool. The dock has been changed to orange and black, and that also goes with the umbrellas as well. They've all been changed to orange and black, with the torches being replaced with redstone torches instead of the usual regular and soul torches that are normally here. And of course, we got some pumpkins as well. Don't forget that as well. Now, we are done with the Lego's Island part. Let's move on to the beach. Next up is the beach, which, as you can see, looks like this. Where the heck is Cookie, by the way? Yeah, she's not following us anymore. Okay, yeah, I don't know where she went. I have no idea. In all seriousness, though, we'll probably find her later. With all that said, though, the beach does look really, really cool. We got all the lights on once again, which are all extremely cool. They do actually look pretty cool. And over here does as well, as you can see. I was able to get these beacons to orange and green, which is actually pretty cool. With all that being said, though, not much to say other than this actually does look pretty freaking awesome, I'm not gonna lie. And the dance floor that's at the underground party room has been transformed into a jack-o'-lantern, which is actually pretty cool, I'm not going to personally lie. With all that being said, though, there's not much else to really say. Other than, okay, this is just open. This room is decorated, though. The beach house is updated for this party. So, yeah, it actually does look really, really cool. Not too much for decoration, though. It's mainly just all the lanterns being transformed to soul lanterns. So, yeah, not too much here. And to be quite honest, that's actually it for the entire beach. But before we head over to the house, there's one thing I need to do. Well, actually, we'll get to that after we tour this. Because I want to continue with the little beach theme. Also, what the frick is this guy doing here? Yeah, what the heck is he doing here? Yeah, what is that guy doing here? I don't know how he got there. He's just there. In all seriousness, the Melon Paradise is updated. I know, a lot of these areas that are normally never decorated are finally getting updated for once. Finally! No, like, you can clearly see I'm actually paying attention to the rest of the world now. Okay, I thought that was cooking for a second. Oh, come on! In all seriousness, in here is decorated with some Halloween decorations. Mainly right here, which is actually really cool. And over here is also updated, with mainly everything just being updated with orange and green, with the water being, of course, transformed into slime, and the dock being made out of orange and green, and the melons being replaced with pumpkins. There's a lot of detail here. So I actually am bringing you guys over here for a reason. Reason why we're here is because, I don't know if you can see that, we actually have a costume inside the fountain, which is my wizard costume. However, we aren't able to claim that unless we trick-or-treat in these houses. So, without further ado, dang, these are still in here when I first created this? Nice! So we had to trick-or-treat at both of these candy stations to unlock the costume. Now that we have done that, we should unlock the costume. There we go. Now that the costume has been unlocked, let's put it on right now. There we go. And now we are all dressed up for the occasion. For the remainder of this video, at least. So, that's a nice little challenge. You actually had to use the candy stations here. Those things I don't think have ever been used, I think, ever since I created this neighborhood. That was 3 years ago, by the way. Dang, that's a long time. Nice to be back here again, though. It's been a while. Next up is my old house, which, as you can see, it is very decorated. As you can see, we actually got some lights here to actually light up on their own, which is actually really cool. So, as you can see, it is all decorated on the outside. We got some entirely new shutters up here, which are items that we can claim throughout the old backyard. Let's actually go ahead and, before we head in there, let's showcase out here first, because it looks cool. By the way, if you're curious, that is coming from right there. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, you see the music notes? That's where that's coming from. It's been kind of yearly tradition since 2022. Except the music is different each time. Pretty nice, right? In all seriousness, let's officially jump into the house. Making our way inside the house, we are presented with this. As you can see, this is how it looks. It actually looks really nice in here. Now, much like previous years, a lot of this has been downgraded as well. So there's not too much here compared to previous years. However, there are a ton of flickering lights, such as this one right here that we see. So you can get that from this perspective. Yeah. Oh, and out there is amazing, by the way. Pretty cool. And by the way, there's actually something we get to do. Because, let's just say, we got some creativity here. The downstairs here, as you can see, is decorated with some Halloween decorations. Not too many, though. Just, maybe a slight few. And over here, this can actually explain where some of these lights are coming from. But as you can see, they turn on and off as we go for a watch. Which is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. As you can see, though, when we head upstairs, this has been replaced with a jack-o'-lantern where the normal light is. Heading into the classroom, this can also turn on and off. which may or may not explain why this door keeps opening and closing like crazy. That also means that we have even more things that set up on their own. Oh, and I may have made this a few weeks early, so let's change that to... Oh, god dang it! Guess we ain't doing that. Okay, yeah, that'll have to work. In seriousness. Yeah, I made this a few weeks ago, actually. I've actually been working on this event for like the whole month. For no reason, because I was bored. Yeah, no, this whole event did not just take a few days. No, I've been actually working on this since the beginning of the month. And I don't mean just here, I mean the whole event. But yeah, classroom looks like this. It looks absolutely beautiful in here. And actually, yeah, let's take advantage of that door opening and closing. Looks pretty cool in here, I'm not gonna lie. Let's go ahead and go in here. Of course, these obviously move on their own like they have been the last 2 years. Looks really cool. Over here has some pumpkins. And then in here has some pretty cool things. Such as right here. And then in here, as you can see, these actually turn on like that. There we go. Sorry about that. And then nothing in here. But it's really cool how I'm able to get this stuff to work. Also, yeah, see, that's how I was able to get these ones to work. And then this is, first off, where this keeps coming from. You're welcome. So, yeah. And you may notice it is majorly downgraded compared to previous years. Yeah, I know. I think like 2 years ago I went a little too nuts. But to be completely honest, it was pretty cool back then. But yeah, that's where this keeps coming from. With all that being said though, let's move on to the one. Now this is where things get absolutely insane. You see, look at this. Look at this. This is actually insane. Things get crazy here. Like, look at all the trap doors right there. That was from last year, although I think I made it a little more crazier. And yes, the fire is on, as usual. And these are finally decorated for once. Although I think they were the previous year, too. And then... yeah. Hopefully he does eventually. But I actually got these to finally open and close on their own. Get out of here, zombie. It took me that long to finally get that achievement? How? That achievement's been in the game for 2 years, and I never got it, at least in this world. I got it in Lego's Island, but I'm surprised it took that long. Well, that was something. In seriousness, though, the whole pool is covered in slime. And I got these to open and close on their own. Okay, so apparently I forgot about back over here. My bad. First off, get out of here, spider. Anyway, I forgot about back there. My bad, guys. Anyway, in all seriousness, let's head out to the yard now. Which looks amazing. Now, remember the trick-or-treat neighborhood that we were in earlier? Where we got this costume? Well, we got another challenge to collect another item. And it's not located here, it's located in the current yard. You see, we have to spot all the hidden jack-o'-lanterns across the old and current backyard. In order to do that, we will get an item as a reward for spotting all of them. So, for example, I already see 2 of them up there. Which is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. And by the way, that's also how this looks, by the way. It looks really cool, I'm not gonna lie. Over here, this isn't one of the hidden ones. There is one hidden up there. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, there is a hidden one right there, if you can see that. It's pretty cool. This also is where we're going to get our first shutter out of all three. Let's go ahead and clear my inventory really quick. And let's claim the slime shutter. This is how it looks. It looks very, very cool. And we got 2 more. By the way, I don't know if I got to show you those lights over there. Holy frick, those things are insane. Anyway, we already spotted 3 jack-o'-lanterns so far. Oh, I see another one up there. I see one. But yeah, the time machine is updated as well. And the field also is updated with mainly the hole being covered in slime. The time machine, though, is updated on the inside mainly, which looks like this. It's mainly all covered in slime on the inside, which actually looks really cool. With all that being said, though, there's not much else to say. Actually, you know what? I don't mind if he kills that guy. I just love how they're backing away. That's funny. Oh, right. This is also where we get our next item, the spooky tree shutter. This one took forever to make, by the way, because holy frick, getting the color combination was difficult as heck. I didn't even want to explain. And yes, I see another jack-o'-lantern up there. As you can see, though, this is decorated with even more slime. Thank God it's not as insane as I did the previous year where it was all decolored. My God, that took forever to clean up. I'll admit, though, this is much easier. Replaced with a ton of dead bushes, which looks really cool, I'm not going to personally lie. Also, crazy that you can still hear that from here. We're getting farther and farther away, we can still hear that. By the way, the slide's decorated with slime and changed to orange. Pretty cool. It's mainly all covered in slime here. And up here also is covered in slime as well. As you can see, these are all custom designs, which look really cool. Anyway, over here, I found another jack-o'-lantern. Yep, right there. I see another one. Right there, I see one. And this is also where we're going to collect our last shutter, the pumpkin shutter. I forgot to mention what this one looks like. And then also this one. They both look really, really cool. With all that being said, the logs are also updated. It looks super cool, and this is also what it looks like too. By the way, I'll place these down just to show you how these look properly. There you go, now that we got it in proper lighting. Lastly but not least is the shed. And yes, I am able to find one last jack-o'-lantern in there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, guys. And that's it for the old backyard. Next up is my current house, and this is also where we're going to finish the quest. But as you can see, this is the first time it's properly being decorated, because when we built it, it wasn't fully complete. So we're actually gonna showcase it now. And yes, we actually got another jukebox in there. Or at least, yeah, a note block, so you'll hear another one of those. This actually does look pretty freaking cool, I'm personally not gonna lie. And yes, there's actually a light right here. Heading on inside to the actual house. This is what it looks like. And we got even more lights that just move on their own. Which looks really, really cool. It's really nice to finally have this house finally built so we can actually not only decorate it, but just enjoy it in general. This place is really crazy, if you know what I mean. Because look at this. It is insane how insane this is. Like, wow. This place really got decked out. But yeah, pretty cool. This place really got decked out. And see, that is where this is coming from. You're welcome. That's where this is coming from. This is my room. And then we got Rose Crystal's room right here. Looks pretty cool. And then we got over here. Nothing here though. Outside of the lighting. And then we got Emperor's room right here. Pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Then over here, this is interesting, because I probably should have put that in the other one too, the other tub in the house. It's pretty interesting. I'm personally not going to lie with all of you. Okay, so I did that, and it gets this trap door to open and close. Nice. Oh, yeah, that's right. We still got over here. Right. Oh, I guess I never actually fully finished this. And there's nothing here. So, actually, yeah, coming in here was actually kind of pointless. Although, I guess the lighting, makes sense for this, I guess. I guess I never put anything in here outside of the lighting. Oh, wow. Let's go out here to the lanai. And this is how it looks. It looks very, very nice out here. And this is where all the crazy lights are, as you can see. They look pretty freaking crazy. And the pool, once again, has been transformed into slime, which is actually really cool. Heading on to the actual yard, we can finish our quest with finding all the hidden jack-o'-lanterns. As fun fact, there is actually one hidden here. Oh, yep, I see it. I see it right there. There we go. And over here, as you can see, look at this. That's cool, right? Anyway, in all seriousness, that's really all there needs to be said about all of this. So, over here, this, I don't think is one of the hidden ones. There is... Wait a second. I think that's actually it. Hey, there we go. So, collect after spawning all the hidden jack-o'-lanterns in the yards. So, our item that we can collect is the jack-o'-lantern banner. This item we can collect after completing the quest. So, as you can see, this is how it looks. It looks really cool. So that's super cool. We now have finished the quest, and now we can just view these decorations as normal, which also look amazing. Just to clarify. It's pretty cool. And then nothing in here. But it's still really cool regardless. Oh hey, we actually got some back here. And another set of lights. But outside of that, that's it for the backyard. I'm actually kind of surprised I saved this for last. But the 2014 village, as you can see, it has Halloween decorations. And I can assure you all these are custom for one reason. We never had a Halloween party. In here. So, I can assure you, this is all custom. Every freaking bit of this is custom. Anyway, with that cleared up. It's pretty cool. Anyway, as you can see, we of course have the flickering lights on and off, just like all the other areas, which are all really cool. And the only reason these are able to activate is mainly because there were potentially some bats in here at one point. But now that I'm in here, it's gonna go freaking crazy. With all that said though, and in mind, there's not much else to say, other than it's mainly just a ton of pumpkins in here, if I'm gonna be quite honest. And in here is updated as well. By the way, I did actually, you might notice this building is actually shortened a little. Instead of the usual 4 blocks this way, it's actually now down to 3. I realized and looked back through my memory in my head, and I realized I don't think the building was meant to be this long around this way, so I shortened it, which can explain why it looks a little shorter now. Because I just realized I don't think it needed to be that big. But, in the meantime, there are some decorations in here, though. I'll admit that one. And lastly, the hotel. Which looks like this, by the way. Yep, and we got some lights here, too. Pretty freaking nice, if you ask me. Pretty cool. Now, over here, because of what I just said, this is now extended out a bit. So, yeah, this is slightly farther away now. Anyway, now that we got that, the house, as you can see, also applies with the lights effect, which is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. And you can probably thank this bat being in here for that, because if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have gotten this part to physically work. With all that being said though, this does look pretty cool. Heading up here as well, we can also see the lights effect take place. Yep, it just goes on and off. It all looks nice and creepy in here. There we go. Anyway, with all that being said though, I can assure you that the campsite's decorated. And it's not even that far away, so I don't even need to pause this. Sand Village, I will have to. The campsite, as you can see, is decorated. And it's not much, just some pumpkins and the logs and fire being updated. That's all. Lastly but not least is the Sand Village. Oh! So now Cookie appears? What? It took her this long to physically appear again? That's crazy! Wow! Anyway, this item we have to collect after spotting all the hidden pumpkins in each village. Well, luckily for you, I already did that while being over there. It was pretty clear that, yeah, some of them were cleverly hidden. And by the way, you might notice a tour sign here. This is because I actually forgot to add it back when we first recreated this village in the summer. And that was my fault, because I just remembered there was a tour sign here. So it's here now, and will be here permanently. Now that that's over with, there are some buildings we do need to go into, such as right here. As you can see, we got the lights flickering in here again. It's great. Yeah, it's pretty crazy in here again. And I'll even show you where the hidden pumpkins are, because they're actually pretty hidden. As you can see though, this does look pretty cool, and all of this is custom. With all that being said, that's pretty cool. Anyway. Yeah, there's some hidden pumpkins here. It's pretty cool. I still just love the lights thing though, man. It's great. Anyway, you're going to be probably surprised about this one, but the hotel finally has something. Finally! Now, of course, this is not the original design, unlike the last few buildings we've been seeing. This is all custom. Like, the entire inside of this is all custom, just to clarify. None of this is from memory. I just made my own version. But as you can see, it's decorated up here, and that's probably where these guys came from. As you can see, I made my own custom version of this hotel since I couldn't remember the original. Oh well. And hey, we got some villagers up here. Let's go. In all seriousness, that's it for the hotel. I think next we're going to make our way to the town. Over here. Which, as you can see, looks like this. It actually looks really cool. We'll get to that in a minute. As you can see, though, this actually looks really, really cool, I'm not gonna lie. See, that's going off like crazy in there, as you can see. It's pretty crazy. Well, that said, though, as you can see, heading into the coffee shop, it looks like this. It actually looks super cool in here. Seriously. This looks amazing so far. And what do you guys think? See, it all goes on and off. It looks absolutely pretty in here. And, yeah. Next up is the dance club, which looks like this place. And as you can see, all of the sea lanterns have been replaced with crying obsidian, with the dance floor being originally diamond replaced with copper and netherite. There are more pumpkins and cobwebs all over the place, which makes it look really cool. Next up is the clothes shop, which looks like this. It actually looks really nice. To be honest though, this is probably where I should have actually put my costume. Oh well. I thought the trick-or-treating part was cool. Anyway, this is how it looks. It looks very, very pretty in here. And I hope you guys love it. So, let's move on to the next part. Next up is the plaza, which one of these doors are already open. But as you can see though, this is how it actually looks. It looks really, really cool. in here is actually updated. Get out of here, zombie. All that being said, though, it actually looks really cool in here. We can get these lights to turn on. That would be nice. Can we get these lights to turn on by chance? Ah, thank God, finally. Yeah, there we go. We got all of them on now. Let's go. Well, that's it, though. The little backyard area looks pretty cool. It's mainly just 2 pumpkins, though. Not much else. Now, the theater area, this part's cool. For one reason, you get to light up the whole stage. Mainly fixed all these mobs being here. They're the ones lighting up the room, which is actually really cool. And yes, you actually get to be at the lit up stage, which is actually super cool. If you know you can get it to light up at both at the same time, obviously. It does look pretty cool, though. It does look really cool, though. I'm not gonna lie. This actually does look pretty cool. Anyway, next up is the little restaurant area, which looks like this, by the way. It's mainly just 1 pumpkin with majority of cobwebs and lights. Not too much else to say here on the Next up is Enpro's house, which looks like this, just for the record. Looks pretty cool. If, you know, we can get all of them to light up at the same time. But, yeah, looks pretty cool in here, I'm not gonna lie. As you can see, it's pretty much all Halloween themed in here. Looks nice. Anyway, last but not least is the wilderness, and this is also where we should finish the pumpkin quest, so we can claim that last item. You may notice that there's actually a hidden pumpkin back there. If you find the slime, there's actually a pumpkin back there. If you're able to see that. But now, as you can see, all the water has been replaced with slime, like you've been seeing all this time. There's also another hidden pumpkin back there. And I guess this is also, considered one of the hidden pumpkins. Because you wouldn't expect one to be back there. And then, I think that's one of the hidden pumpkins. We got one back there, and then... Yep, there's another hidden pumpkin. Yep, I think we just found all the hidden pumpkins, guys. Pretty freaking awesome. With all that being said, guys, we have now officially found all the hidden pumpkins in the village, and we can claim our last item in this party, the banner, which looks like this, just to clarify. Now we're holding both at once, which is really cool. With all that being said, guys, that wraps up this episode of Legomaster627's creation. Honestly, I'm surprised I was able to basically get the entire world decorated for this party. Well, basically everywhere, I think, except for the water park and Big Brother Series area. But outside of that, yeah, it got updated. Holy frick! That's probably why this video is an hour long. Because, wow. And there's the village from an overview. Just if you guys were curious. Crazy how you can get literally both of the villages in this one angle. It's actually crazy. You're able to get both villages in this one angle, and it actually feels pretty good. To be quite honest, this is probably the first event since the anniversary party in August to decorate literally the entire world. Wow, that's crazy. Honestly, I personally really like this party. It took like since the beginning of the month to make this. I've been working on this for like, I want to say a good 19 days. And yeah, it's been crazy. And I don't mean like daily, because of course we did have that power outage like a week ago. But regardless, it's pretty crazy. And I personally hope you guys truly did enjoy this party. Honestly, I think my favorite... my old house. Those are like my personal favorites. Out of everything in this party. It's pretty awesome. With all that being said, guys, what is your favorite room of this party? Next week on the 28th, we will be back to creating another Halloween-themed creation. We got one more skyscraper to do, so do look out for that in the next episode on October 28th to wrap up all the Halloween-themed creations. With all that being said, guys, I will see you all in the next one.